Good afternoon. It's great to be here with you all today. I'm Eran, and this is Omer, and we're co-founders of OmegaPoint. So first off, a question for the audience. Show of hands, how many of you have invested in ETFs or mutual funds? Okay, yeah, so that's pretty much everyone. Now, commonly, getting started with an investment process looks like this. You'll work with an advisor. It'll be a robo-advisor or a financial advisor. And you'll tell them how much risk you want to take. They'll then assign you a basket of securities, ETFs and mutual funds that they say are the best fit for your specific needs. However, as we all know, the markets are constantly changing. The risks shift. Just this last year, we've seen inflation, trade wars, tax cuts. Each of these have near and long-term impact. And yet, we're still holding the same basket of securities. Inexplicably, we're even holding them in the same proportions, even in the face of constant change. At OmegaPoint, we realized that there had to be a better way. So, using advancements in AI, we built a platform that helps investment professionals adapt your investments to changing market conditions. Imagine the next generation of investment strategies that are truly market aware. So how does this work? Well, let's see what Omer has to show us. Omer, what have you got there?
Well, Eran and everyone, what we see here is our platform helping a mutual fund manager better manage and understand the drivers of their performance. While the manager may be out poring over financial statements, talking to management teams, or even attending conferences such as this one, our platform is busy scanning thousands of trends that could impact their portfolio.
And what does it see for this manager?
Well, what we see here is that while the manager did outperform the benchmark by about 2%, the overall performance could have been significantly better had the manager noticed and understood really what trends were impacting the portfolio negatively, to the tune of over 11%.
Wow, those market trends really took their toll. What does it show over there on the right?
Again, we have many market trends that we're analyzing for this manager, so we want to boil it into the most impactful ones on their portfolio. In this particular case, we can see sort of all the macro factors. Inflation was the one that was most dominant as a negative impact on their portfolio.
Interesting. This is a lot clearer than on a Bloomberg terminal. Can you dive into that inflation?
Yeah, we can go into inflation a little bit further and analyze kind of the key aspects of how the portfolio trended in inflation. And one of the things we want to see is this a choppy type of a drawdown, or is this something that is a little bit more consistent over time? And here we see this is a very consistent negative trend, which means it probably can be captured and modified and changed. Furthermore, we can also look at the types of securities that are contributing to that inflation drawdown. In particular, WPX Energy is one of the most dominant contributors. We can see that over almost 60% of its return kind of has been impacted by inflation. This analysis, we do over 100,000 securities. So the manager doesn't have to necessarily just see securities in their portfolio. They can see pretty much any security in the global markets.
Well, that's great. And looking back at that performance screen, there were several market trends that were all impacting the portfolio at the same time. How does one make their portfolio resilient across trends?
That's really the crux of what we do. There's a lot of data on market trends. The problem is really figuring out how to collectively analyze them, which requires sophisticated techniques. We apply deep learning to analyze these trends and really define the current market environment. We call it our market-aware AI. This information is delivered to the manager through our insights panel, where the manager can actually see how they can rebalance their portfolio to the trends and the changing market conditions. We also provide them with historical analysis of the impact of the portfolio, had they applied this type of rebalancing to the trends then. In this particular case, we are adding value to the manager to the tune of about 3.63%.
Wow, that's pretty significant, just looking at that difference between the original and rebalanced portfolios. But how does a manager actually apply this to their portfolio?
We run these strategies live. on the portfolio and on the market trends that are coming in. So the portfolio can be rebalanced essentially at any time, leveraging the information here that you see on the right. And ultimately, through our API, this manager can send these trades immediately to their internal order management system or third-party brokerage.
So with Omega Point, an investment manager who may be investing on behalf of the audience could actually position their portfolio to take advantage of the current market environment.
That's correct. Ultimately, what we're doing here is combining both advancements in AI and, as you can see, design-first thinking to make a product that really speaks to the manager and helps them adapt their portfolio and become market aware. Over $30 billion in assets are analyzed on our platform daily across investment managers, mutual funds, wealth managers, and even model portfolio teams at banks. Each and every one of them is using it to be able to get down to the drivers of their inherent performance of their portfolios and become more market aware so that they can better manage the capital that you had entrusted them with.
Right. Thank you very much for joining us today. Be happy to show you the platform in action back at our demo booth. Also, bring a company that you're interested in knowing what market trends are affecting them. Be happy to show you how it's affecting their stock price. Thank you so much.